Hey everybody, I'm just giving you a quick update on April 28th, Monday. Been a long day. Started off at noontime with my gastroenterologist who put my stents in on back in June of 2024. And when I went to the emergency room last week, it got the ball rolling and got me an appointment. And unfortunately, that's just the way the healthcare is in Maine, I guess. Um, so found out a few interesting things that we didn't know. Told him all my symptoms, and he looked at a couple of my scans, and he is under the assumption that the pancreatic stent that he put in um, has been flushed out of my body, which would make sense with the pain that I'm having and no jaundice. Because if it was my bile duct stent, it would have affected my liver numbers. But I am inflamed in my abdomen. So, that being said, we really got the ball rolling. And I got my infusion on Monday. I talked to the trial nurse. Um, talked to the trial nurse, and we are going with instead of 2 hours of infusion and 4 hours of observation, we're going to be going down to 2 and 2. So instead of a 12-hour day, hopefully it'll only be a 6 to 8 hour day. We're going to leave around 3:30, 4 in the morning for our 7 o'clock appointment. Get down there. They start infusing, I believe. I'm hoping at 9. I think it's 9:10. That'll give me till 11:10, and then hopefully I'll be out of there by 1:30. Back home by 4 to get some rest because Tuesday going over to Maine Med, and they're going to do what's called an ERCP on me, which Dr. Stefan's going to go back down my throat, dilate my pancreatic duct that is dilated and causing the pain. And he's going to check, obviously, the other stent, make sure that one's okay. And then, yeah, hopefully I'll be out of this pain and I'll be able to eat again because I have not had a solid meal really. I say that I had eggs yesterday, which didn't bother me too much, and a little bit of pasta salad on Saturday, which treated me all right, but pretty much liquid diet since last Monday, and unfortunately, I've lost another 12 pounds in a week, and down to where I was 14 years ago, and going towards where I haven't been since high school. So I want to get this under control before I get there. So this video is also a lesson for anybody going through chronic pain, and they tell you to go through your PCP and get a referral. I thought I was already a patient of Dr. Stefan's because he did the procedure. That was not the case. He did the procedure in the hospital and then basically didn't wash his hands of me, but basically that was all he did. So I wasn't an established patient. So the only way you can grease that wheel is unfortunately going to the emergency room and see if you've got a good ER doctor that will do their due diligence, which I did, and I'm so grateful for. Portland Gastroenterology moved heaven and earth to get me in today. And then they moved Mount Everest to get things moved around for Tuesday. So, it's going to be a long Monday, Tuesday for us. But, it just has to be done. If I don't do it next week, if I didn't get it done on Tuesday, Dr. Stefan goes on vacation the second week of May, and then maybe they can move somebody around the third week of May. By that time I'll be down 170, because I just can't eat. So this is a lesson for all you guys that need some help and you're not getting it. Just be bulldogs like Becky and I, and don't take no for an answer. And if you have to go into the emergency room to get that squeaky wheel greased, that's what you got to do. So I'm so glad I did. I really, really miss eating. I've been very, very grumpy and really short with my bride. And, it's unacceptable. Make no excuses for it. It's just, it's just cancer. And it's stressful on any marriage or any relationship. So she knows I love her. She knows how bad I feel about it. And, we get through it and just keep going. And I told her, I said, I don't care what it takes. If we have to drive down and back on Monday, from 4 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, and then do the ERCP on Monday, that's what we got to do. So here we go. So another hiccup in the road, but hopefully, being diligent with the way I know my body feels, and I know this feels just like when I first got diagnosed before they put the stents in, except like I said, my lab work for my liver is perfect, so that stent is still working. But he believes that the other one has been flushed out of my body. So here we go. So I just wanted to give you that update, and be your own advocate. Fight for yourself. Don't ever, ever, ever give up. Get the help that you need. So I love you. Dan Wilson, thank you for inviting me to go fishing tomorrow. Boy, oh boy, I really want to go. But, it's just, no. I gotta rest. So I love you for that, and I love you all, and we'll be updating again real soon. Okay, you guys have a good week, and I'll talk to you next week. Love you.